Hey, Jack. All right. You got this stuff?
Yeah, all cleaned and oiled.
Oh, yeah. Beautiful. Beautiful. Let's get it on.
Who are these guys?
It's my theme music. Every good hero should have some.
Live from Springfield, Missouri, the one, the only, Bud Green.
Excuse me, can I get a cup of coffee? Black? Can't you see we talking? White?
Hello.
Hello. Wow. How are you gentlemen this morning?
I'm okay. Got a little headache, but
Oh, a little bit of a headache. Oh, we can't have
Yeah.
that.
well, it's sinus stuff, so it's that time of year.
That's what I keep hearing. And good
Hello,
morning.
Anima.
Yeah, good morning, Anima. Wow. And Penny. Wow. It's always exciting. Well. I think it's very appropriate that you're wearing that t-shirt today, John.
Yep, that's why I wore it.
Look, I think it's safe to say that over the last 11 years, you know, it's safe to say that Marvel has done a very good job of putting itself out there and raising the awareness of its brand amongst those who were not exactly a part of the fan base that they had originally started out with. Would you not say?
That's they definitely introduced themselves to the world that way.
Oh yeah, I mean, not that nobody, you know, not that, you know, they weren't already known, given what they had done, you know, through Fox and definitely through Sony. But that their association with Disney has been a little more lucrative. Would you not say?
At the beginning,
Oh, it actually there's no equivocation. Given the amount of money that they made just within the first 10 years combined, it's safe to say they've made more money than the X-Men franchise and made more money than even the Spider-Man franchise.
Yeah.
You know, it's not even close.
No.
They have become the most lucrative franchise. If you add in all the movies that are connected, they are the biggest franchise pretty much of all time. Because what Force Awakens did 2 billion, that's 1.5 billion for the last Brown Jedi, and the Rise of Palpatine made a little less than that. And I mean, and then you put together everything they have for the X-Men films, and yeah, that's
you might get $2 billion for the entire franchise.
pretty much.
Wow.
So with luck.
But every Disney movie up until Endgame was $1 billion plus.
Yeah. When you averaged it out, not every film made $1 billion.
No.
But when you put together the total box office and you average it out, you're looking at about $1 billion, $1.1 billion, $1.2 billion, averaged out for every film. So that's good.
Yeah.
That's really good. It was good to see that entire team have success. Between Kevin Feige and his team, and of course the team of creatives that he had, his murderer's row of talent, who also, ironically, almost all of them were fans of Marvel Comics. Would you not say?
Yeah, most of them were.
So,
of course, most of those aren't there anymore, so
that's what I was getting to.
Jump the gun.
Don't worry about it. Don't worry about it.
Hello.
Andy Morrow. Hello, hello, hello. What I'm trying to get to is this. There's everything that they've had up to that point, I should say, because we have had other phases. But there's everything up to the point of Endgame, and then there's everything that's come after.
Yep.
Prior to Endgame, all the success they were having in terms of box office. A little bit of, just a tiny bit of success, though, on television. Tiny bit with Agents of S.H.I.E.L.D. And Fox pretty much was doing very well with The Gifted. And with it was The Gifted, and it was also Legion. Both of those were very well done. And Spider-Man was leaving the scene, or had left the scene. Yep. Henry Garfield had been taken out. And, there was really nothing left in that direction. So now you have everyone commenting, a lot of people on YouTube and other podcasts, and of course the back and forth and going after the fans and those particular people who dare criticize. And that brings us all the way to yesterday. So I need to ask, John, how did you find out about this Variety article? Because this is a big article, I gotta say.
Where did I see it? I think it was somebody posted on Twitter that was there. And then I went to it and went, whoa.
Yeah, Kingsport, Cal, Legion was tight.
Yeah, it was.
Aubrey Plaza did a everybody was really good. Yeah, I can see that. I can see how people didn't care for The Gifted. To me, it's the best thing that Fox ever did outside of their initial X-Men run, and at least, outside of the initial first two X-Men films, and then Days of Future Past and Logan. And those, to me, those are the only films worth anything. Outside of the Deadpool films. And that's it. Fox did a fantastic job of pretty much just killing their own franchise. Although they did struggle. I mean, it wasn't an easy thing for them to do, and it wasn't immediate. It was lots of fits and starts. Sony killed their own franchise. They went out and did things behind the scenes that caused a lot of their problems, even though fans seem to really like Spider-Man overall. They love the Spider-Man films.
Yeah.
But behind the scenes, things weren't exactly the best.
Well, maybe not 3.
No, even three. Given the box office that they're projecting for the Marvels,
Yeah.
they would love to have that box office from Spider-Man 3.
Well, that's true.
Oh, it's a Dega Outlaw.
Hey, Dega.
So, we have been very, very entertained by a lot of Marvel content for a long time. Technically, since at least 1998. Yeah.
Yep.
Yeah, since 98 with Blade.
Yeah. Blade really kicked off the Marvel. You're right.
It did. And it did it in a very entertaining way, and in a way that I think was able to garner a lot of attention from those who were not that familiar with Marvel Comics. I think that is very safe to say that. You could look at what Louis D'Esposito and Kevin Feige and everyone else had done, and also give a little credit to Ike Perlmutter.
Yeah,
as I've said within the last year or so, I have made some criticisms of Ike Perlmutter, and I freely admit that I take back a good portion of what I said. Knowing a little bit better now about what the situation was with that MCU novel that is out there, the book behind the scenes, and understanding now what is going on after that Variety article. Ooh. Yeah. For me personally, I just think it's kind of ironic that since leaving Warner Brothers, Zack Snyder, that Kevin Feige hasn't had any script leaks and or storyboards to take any major ideas from, which is also part of the reason why a lot of his movies suck now. I mean,
yeah. That argument can be made.
It's not an argument. I'm just saying, when you have 3 Flashes and your solution is, well, let's just have 3 Spider-Men and do it cheaper by actually inviting in 2 other actors. That way you have 3. You can only call coincidence so many times until after a while it becomes noticeable. Look, I know that there are still certain fans out there that are still trying to hold on to that hope that everything that we initially thought Marvel Studios was, it was. But when you really look around and when you listen to what those who are no longer working for Marvel Studios are trying to tell you, like, for instance, the writers who wrote Civil War and the Russo brothers. Now, something I just recently learned is I didn't realize that Robert Downey Jr. didn't want Tony Stark to die. I knew that Jon Favreau had to be talked into it. He had made the argument that it was a bad idea to do that. And it turns out that Robert Downey Jr. really, really thought it was a bad idea. And that could also be another reason why Robert Downey Jr. pretty much isn't beating around the bush anymore about whether or not he would come back.
Nope.
Because look, he's got the money. That deal that he had, he could have easily have milked that thing for decades.
Oh yeah.
They kept backing up the truck outside of the deal that he had in order to get him. I mean, you know, everybody knows that, or at least they should, that making Civil War was not part of his original contract, which means he got paid to just be in a movie that was written, that had two versions of the script written. One for when he said yes to be in the movie, and one if he decided not to be in the movie. So, you know.
Where's what that one without him look like?
Oh, I'm pretty sure that certain beats still be there. They would have relied heavily on someone else being more of the representative to say things. They probably would have given certain lines to Vision and one or two other people. But Admiral Teague, good morning to you. And Wolverine 626, eight episode second season. Excuse me, second season of House of the Dragon to premiere in early summer 2024. Yeah, because the release schedule for a lot of movies next year is not that cool. In fact, according to what a lot of stuff got pushed back, but according to what I heard this morning, it's looking like the month of June is going to be almost anemic. So that's actually pretty smart to go ahead and release House of the Dragon at a time when there won't be any real competition in the theaters too much as far as new stuff premiering. So that's very smart. Very smart. Yeah. Martin.
Yeah.
So, you know, when you joined our show, did you happen to have knowledge of at least a few of the things that have been going on with Marvel Studios?
About because
you did.
Because I was following your show, and I was following Neurotic and oh my god, Clownfish and obviously Doomcock, but I didn't know how is it go? How did the rabbit goes hole? Rabbits go. You know.
How deep the rabbit hole goes. Yeah.
Yes. Thank you. My tongue is in a note. See? No, I cannot English today.
Well, sit down at the table and get ready for some tea because the Mad Hatter's got more chaos for Marvel coming.
Well, this was always going to happen. The moment that the talented fans, the talent that were fans of Marvel decided not to come back to work to make any more films, this was always going to happen. Okay, you as I said before, even with Fox, you could tell they were fighting it. They weren't doing a very good job, but they were fighting their demise. They were trying really hard to find something that would work. And too often it was even just, some of it was just dumb. You know, you put out a movie like Deadpool for the amount of money that Deadpool was made. So what, around 67, almost 70 million for that.
Yeah.
You have an article coming out celebrating Deadpool and then talking about the $150 million they're spending for Channing Tatum's movie, which is supposed to be the next one.
Yeah.
That's kind of tone deaf a little bit, you know? Uh, but they were trying. They were trying real hard not to become irrelevant and lose money. But Marvel, after Endgame, as far as I was concerned, from the very moment that they had announced and put out Black Widow, that pretty much was the signal that all common sense and attempts to actually make money went right out the window.
When did they pull the power out of the hands of Ike Perlmutter and give it into Kevin Feige?
That was 20, either 17 or 18. You know,
In other words, right before everything came crashing down.
probably even 2016, probably. I mean, okay. Do you mean as in firing Ike Perlmutter and having him just pulling it out of his hands?
Pulling out right. When they put Kevin Feige in charge of everything Marvel.
Yeah, when they took Marvel Studios away from Marvel.
Yeah.
And let it be its own thing. Yeah, it's right around 2016, 2017, right around then. Because it was almost like, not almost, but it was run differently. And Ike Perlmutter just had the television division and the comics and the merchandising. And Kevin Feige just had Marvel Studios.
Yeah, so basically everything after Endgame was all stuff that Feige that was created when Feige was in charge of everything.
Yes.
And Endgame and Infinity War and all the rest of those were all under the old under Perlmutter.
No, I mean Feige was okay.
But Perlmutter still had.
Yes. Well, what I mean is, the thing is that Kevin Feige was running Marvel under the watchful eye of Alan Horn before he retired. Okay, it wasn't like Feige was given full reign and he could do whatever he wanted to do. He still had to fall under the purview of Alan Horn, who was the guy that had fired. He made the decision to fire James Gunn. And then when to me, everything completely changed when Alan Horn left. Because Alan Horn at least knew enough to be able to stop Kevin Feige from doing certain things. And Kevin Feige wouldn't have made a lot of the decisions that he had been making, at least as far as the way they spent money, not creatively, but the way they've spent money. Even Alan Horn would have called into question some of the ways that Marvel has executed a majority of their post-production work. He would have brought that to Kevin Feige's attention and said, hey, what are you doing? Why are you spending, why do we have this film for $150 million and you're spending well past that in post-production? Once Alan Horn retired, he was set free. Kevin Feige was released.
So it was a combination of pulling the reins out of Perlmutter's hands and as complete Marvel control, as opposed to just being and Alan Horn leaving.
Yeah. That was always what I had heard and what I understood. And that falls right into that same time period. When Alan Horn left is when things started to get really out of control. Again, Alan Horn wasn't there. Alan Horn didn't know comics. He didn't have anything to do as far as story.
Yeah.
But stopping the amount of financial abuse. If Alan Horn had waited another 3 years, I think there's the possibility that Black Widow and one or two other projects probably would not have cost as much as they had ultimately. They would have been made for a lot less money, and a lot of this whole new mix of just trying to fix everything in post would not have been a problem, at least for a few years. But again, that's what brings us to the Variety article by Tatiana Siegel. Crisis at Marvel. Jonathan Majors' backup plans, the Marvels reshoots, reviving original Avengers, and more issues revealed. Wow, this is a big article. First of all,
no punches either.
Yeah, well,
a little bit. There's a couple places where they kind of don't fully call out what's been going on, but they just hint at it.
Well, that's also been the criticism. One of the small criticisms of the South Park episode, and really of that tell-all MCU book that's been put out,
which I still need to read.
You know, it doesn't include. Kevin Feige is not perfect, but it doesn't go at him in a way that makes you think that the people putting it together, you know, I mean, Kevin Feige's been the guy in charge. Okay. Victoria Alonso was not the best person for what she ended up doing to the company. And while there are those who would argue that she was a sacrificial lamb, I personally think she was fired mainly for two important reasons. First, the post-production work that she oversaw was just hideous. You're dropping a lot of money making these films. If you cannot have quality visual effects to go with that, and that's your job. And the second, and what I would think to be the most important, and I think even Valiant Renegade and WDW Pro would back me up, the reality is that she basically embarrassed Bob Chapek. She called him out. And I think she realized that she had messed up.
It was at that moment she realized that she had effed up.
Because Iger, who really was still running Disney, even though he wasn't, there, he was still technically running Disney because he was basically telling the board members what to do. When she wasn't rescued, when she wasn't exonerated for what had happened, I think she realized she had gone too far. She's still a very opinionated woman, and I would not even try to stop her from having her opinions. I don't think she should be fired for opinions. All I am saying is that when you are the employee of a major corporation, and in her particular case, someone who actually ran a very important division for a company owned by Disney that had been making money before. It's difficult to justify many of the reactions that people were having to the work that she was overseeing. Yeah, that's pretty much the long and short of it.
Yeah.
But
Admiral Teague, he's not fired yet. They just don't know what to do with it.
The guy is canceled everywhere.
Yeah, the guy's canceled everywhere, but until I see that they've replaced him and recast him or done something, he's
yeah.
still there.
You know they're gonna replace him, and you know by what.
You know what,
Yeah.
though? I will say this
It's-
about that situation with Jonathan Majors.
It's going to be
There
a
is-
woman. They're going to make her gay, and it's going to be lame.
There are two things that they could do that could keep interest and, in my opinion, further interest in what they are doing. One, you could have Kang killed by the High Evolutionary,
Yeah.
who we saw in Guardians 3.
But he's dead.
Who's dead?
The High Evolutionary.
Oh, but they'll find it. Look, that actor has nothing wrong going for him. They could easily have him back. Trust me. They could easily find it.
Somehow, the High Evolutionary has came back.
Because they needed him really bad. And they also needed a villain that was, look, he only made one movie and he was more effective in Guardians 3 than anything I've seen Jonathan Majors do as Kang in anything.
Yep. Yeah, I just don't like, it's not a good version of Kang.
Well, Kang was never that.
Even
was never
even
that big of a
Penny know
villain
what is
either.
happening here.
No.
Yeah. Everybody's seen it. It's just like Neurotic said. There's more damage that has been done by South Park to KK and Lucasfilm and Disney done than anyone that has been making shows like this over the last 10 years that have been arguing and making some of the same arguments. It definitely meant something for those guys, Matt and Trey, to take on the subject and do it the way that they did. And in my opinion, a very fair criticism of all sides. But wow. And I think we're 7 days away? 7 days away from the Disney earnings call.
Yep.
Can you feel that?
And we're 8 days away from Marvels.
Ooh, can you feel that?
Interesting timing.
This is wow.
We get the earnings call before the Marvels fall on its face.
Yeah. Well, again, let me just say, thank you to John for finding this article, because this is a whole show. This article is an entire show, and if for those of you who have not read it, I think I'm gonna try to read a lot of this. I don't think I can get through all of it, but
big article.
We will read this and we will discuss a few things, and I'll try to add in a few things that going back to things that Gary and I have talked about. But wow. I mean, this is not going to be easy to come back from. I'm not saying they can't come back from this. I'm saying it's not going to be easy. But I still think between what the damage that Kathleen, the story group, and Lucasfilm have done, and what's going on with Marvel, I believe what Bob Chapek believed, which is I think Marvel is salvageable. I think you could easily do it, but that's probably just a very limited opinion. But I still think, I know that Nerdrotic has argued against it, but I still think if you wanted to pay the entire original cast of the Avengers to come back, you could do it. You
Would it be
could
worth
make
it?
them. You could make the math work out, considering how much money Kevin Feige has wasted in additional spending on almost every single Phase 4 and 5 film. In certain cases of, a lot of money has been spent. If you only made one MCU movie that was to come out in 2026, if you canceled everything else and only had one movie come out, and it be all the original Avengers and an Avengers movie, it'd be worth it.
I don't think it would make enough.
I think it would. You're paying. Look, everybody's going to get paid up front. I don't think none of one of them would want a piece of the. I mean, it would make money, of course, but I think they would rather have their money up front, or at least Robert Downey Jr. and Scarlett. They're going to have to back up 2 or 3 dump trucks to get Scarlett back.
It's going to cost probably $40 million to get Scarlett Johansson back.
Maybe even 50.
Maybe 50, but I think they could probably get away with 40 because that's double what she got for
Black Widow.
Black Widow, yeah. So I think they could get her back for 40, but 50 would probably be better.
Something tells me you're right, but something also tells me she'd try to hold out for a little bit more.
And I don't think they could really entice RDJ back with just money.
Oh no. That would be the toughest one. RDJ and Scarlett would be the 2 toughest people to get back. I think everybody. I'm not saying it would be easy with everyone else, but it'd be a lot easier with them than it would for Scarlett and RDJ.
Yeah. I mean, bringing back Chris Hemsworth wouldn't be an issue.
Oh, not at all.
He'd come back in a heartbeat.
He would come back mainly because it'd be an opportunity to work with his friends again.
Yeah.
And have a good, they would be cutting up behind the scenes. Whoever you would get to direct that movie, it's going to have an added bit of difficulty because it's going to be difficult to keep everybody on track.
Who directed the best and greatest money-making movies that they've had?
I bet you the behind the scenes would be more entertainment and more fun than the movie itself.
You're right, Martin. That would be worth just a documentary about how much fun they're having behind the scenes.
Yeah.
Look, in my personal opinion, okay. In my personal opinion, I believe that there is one person who I think could make one final Avengers movie really work. And I mean really, really work.
I kind of
know who I'm saying.
Yeah, I know, and I kind of disagree. I think he's too tainted at this point.
I know. Look, of course he's tainted. I'm not saying he's not. I'm just saying, given if you're going to look at box office here, and as far as contributions in terms of story and directing, he's the total package. You save a lot of money.
Who is this person, please? Because
it's the director of the first 2. Joss
Whedon. The one that shall not be named.
Look, at this point, Kevin Feige's in the middle of just taking he's in the middle of taking the Marvel plane, and he's nosediving right now. He's aimed straight at the ground. When that starts to happen, you really don't care who's going to help you try to fix this. They just need to fix it, And I know that Kevin Feige said, I'll never work with Joss Whedon. Joss Whedon's been persona non grata everywhere. To say that is like saying water is wet.
Yeah.
That's low-hanging fruit. and uh it
See,
doesn't take anything to say that. So
I would bring in the Russos again.
the only reason why I didn't mention the Russos is because they didn't have it very easy with Kevin Feige. Given what has been described about behind the scenes of Infinity War and Endgame, Feige, I think, was starting to push a lot behind the scenes. At least with Joss Whedon, what you have is someone who could look Feige in his eyes and say, that's not going to work with the story that I have. And you can't say too much because he's both your screenwriter and your director. With the Russos, you're just talking directing.
Yeah,
and
that's true.
I think Feige saw an opening to be able to make some changes. Look, as I've said before in previous shows, I can understand exactly what Feige's thinking was, both from the in-universe, in-story reason to kill off the original Avengers, as well as a business reason. Okay, the business reason's obvious, self-explanatory. You know, you're reaching the end of everybody's contract. You might as well just kill everybody. The end story reason is to make it so that the vision that Tony had in Age of Ultron would seemingly come true.
Yeah.
I get it. I don't agree with it, but I get it. But yeah. Anyway, let me just go ahead and start on this article because I think people wait. Let's first of all check the chat. Admiral Teague says, I think real hand over of the story to Disney happened between Infinity Wars and Endgame, and you can see the free fall thereafter. Oh, yeah. And Admiral Teague goes on to say Jonathan Majors fired simply because of an unsubstantiated accusation. Not totally sure it's fair. Yeah, it didn't stop what happened to other people.
Yeah.
You know, looking right at the Rick and Morty situation, and
oh yeah, there's a lot of that cancellation culture that jumps the gun before anybody knows the actual facts. But the problem with this Jonathan Major situation is that it's actually going to trial.
Yeah, because they found enough to go that far.
Yep.
I mean, there's stuff that we probably, as the general public, don't know, and there's stuff that's been kept under seal that we don't know.
Yep.
And this is not simply a one thing, maybe a thing over here. This is starting to add up.
There's a pattern there because there's more than just his girlfriend that's come forward.
There's more than just that. I mean, I'm telling you, look, I like Jonathan Majors as an actor. I do. But if you're going to start, if you're dinging Joss Whedon, you got to be fair. And the thing is, again, as was revealed in the MCU tell-all, they only made the decision to have Kang be the linchpin of all the movies because of what happened in Loki. The Loki series did that.
Yeah.
And it was just like, wait a minute. You mean you're not exactly planning this out? I'm beginning to believe there's a lot of people lying to me now. That what we thought as this big plan overall, it's Joe's atmosphere, everybody. He says, "What up, folks? What up, Joe?" I, I I'm beginning to think that it's not as much of a plan as at least the first three phases were, because you were dealing with a lot of very talented people, all of whom had some association, some history with dealing with the studios, and all of whom were actual fans of Marvel, versus the crop of directors and stuff that you've had since the end of Endgame, who were all mainly newbies, people that could easily be told what to do, writers who can write whatever they've been told to do, and it's just sloppy. That's the other thing. If you pretended that the first three phases never happened and you just began with the movie Black Widow, all the movies released are all the movies that they've released, but there was no phases 1 through 3, and all you had was what happened all throughout phase 4 and into what we got now. If this had all been the thing, oh my goodness, I don't think they would have made it.
Yeah.
You know, Black Widow, not good.
It should have been phase 2 at least.
The Eternals, not good.
No.
Shang-Chi, really not good. Here, let me I know there are some of you out there that really like that movie. Let me give you my reasons, the reason why I don't. One, I'm a fan of the real Shang-Chi comics. The reason why they made a lot of the changes that they did is they were trying to be, quote unquote, more sympathetic to the people of China, to try to do something to, blah, 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 blah,
Yeah.
right? In the end, the Chinese never played the movie. China never got it.
Yep.
And they actually don't like the actor that's the lead of the movie.
Yeah. If you're trying to get sympathy from a country, don't get an actor that criticizes that country.
There you go. Used to be, you could have certain things inserted in the contracts to make sure that wasn't going to be a problem. And if somebody continued to do it, then they would find themselves doing something else.
Yeah.
They wouldn't fire him. They would just inform him that, he needn't come back tomorrow. Don't worry. It's not like you're losing a job. You'll still know where it is. It's just going to be somebody else doing it. An actor that's really happy to do it.
Yeah.
And will keep his trap shut. Admiral Teague, calling the loosely related events of Loki a series is a stretch, thanks to the incompetent story. Admiral Teague also says it's actually an impediment to the new stuff to have any familiarity with the past projects. They contradict one another now.
Yeah, they do.
True.
And the big problem with, we've talked about this, the big problem with Shang-Chi is they took the character that should have been a martial arts film, and that's it.
That's it.
Martial arts film with crime drama. And that should have been where they left it. But no, they had to go and make him a superhero.
It should have been Chinese born.
Yeah.
That's it. Not porn, born.
Yeah, Jason
Bourne.
Bourne.
Jason Bourne. It should have been They made Joker for $75 million. They could have made Shang-Chi for $75 million. Courtney and our Fellowship of Oddballs. Hi, Courtney.
Hey, Courtney.
Much love to you, Courtney. Love having you. Oh, you're so right, John. I mean, look, if you're a Marvel fan, I'm sorry, but If you're not already mad, you should be getting mad.
Because Shang-Chi was originally the Marvel Comics version of Bruce Lee.
Yes. Yes. Bruce Lee / James Bond. And you could have had that. And given now that there's an uncertain future for the James Bond franchise, if Kevin Feige had actually followed the comics, you'd have a Chinese James Bond.
Yeah, but they seem to have gotten rid of everybody that knows the comics in their writers' rooms.
Amazing how that happens.
Yep.
This is a party that did not need to end. That's really the thing about the MCU phases 1 through 3. That was a party that did not need to end. And I gotta say something. Kingsport Cal, I'm sorry, dude. I can't go down that road with you about the Eternals. I'm sorry. I'm too big of a Jack Kirby fan to have let that slide. And the thing is, here's the other thing. Things are so bad right now. Nobody talks about the being coming up out of the planet.
Nope.
That is a major development, you know.
You've got a giant, what's effectively a giant statue in the middle of the Indian Ocean now.
Oh, geez.
That's the size of a small city.
Yeah.
And nobody mentions it ever.
Nope.
Anywhere.
Nope. Nothing to see. I mean, you know, aliens attack Manhattan.
And that's all anybody ever talks about.
Yeah. Oh, man, you know, everybody talks to every related show. They bring it up. There's a giant being coming out of the planet. It's just another Wednesday.
Hey, Cal, it can look beautiful and still be a horrible story.
Lady V Elements, I don't think the public understands the psychological transformation it requires to make a successfully riveting work of art. All your favorite mysteries, horror films made by total psychopaths. Okay. That's an explanation.
Yeah.
I will admit that some of these people don't seem to be completely in their right minds. I'm looking at a certain writer who wrote, you know, a couple of books for both Marvel and DC. Watchmen. Excuse me. Anyway, look,
yeah.
Kingsport Cal, I'm glad you enjoyed the Eternals. And B+, more power to you. More power to you. I can't go down that road. I can't do it. I'm too much of a Jack Kirby fan. Look, he is in my opinion, the dominant architect of a lot of the initial successful IPs for Marvel.
Oh, yeah.
To disrespect him like that by making such fundamental changes, I'm not down with that, you know. I don't think he would have liked that. Good cast. Nothing wrong with the cast.
I was really hoping they would have done a little more with Black Knight than they did.
What happened with that one? That's the other thing. You set up a bunch of stuff. Has anything from the Eternals really paid off?
Well, Black Knight was supposed to be part of Blade, and then suddenly he's not. Of course, we don't know what's going on with Blade because that's a whole other subject there going on.
And nobody knows what's going on with Blade.
Not even the writers.
Not even the yeah. Well, the writers they had are not the writers that are now working on it.
Oh no. When your story when your story goes from being a Blade movie to Blade being the fourth character, and your star going, I'm walking if this doesn't change.
Yep. Who's a 2-time Academy Award winner.
Yes.
And you almost lost him. He almost walked out.
Yep. Oh, and all the 3 characters that they brought in ahead of him were all female.
Make lame.
Yeah.
Yeah, Wolverine 626, that's pretty much it.
Yep.
You're basically they went and He-Manned him.
He-Man was treated better than Blade was in that story.
Ouch! Oh no, John Witzer! Oh man!
Because if half the things that I've seen from that leak are true, it's ridiculous.
Wow. Take no prisoners. But you know what? I agree. I agree with John. I mean, it's pathetic. They would have been better off just getting Wesley Snipes and just doing another Blade movie.
Yep, he would have been up for it.
This is just it's clown world now. You've gone from making all these movies that were highly anticipated. You had people that had never picked up Marvel Comics before who were anticipating the very next Marvel film. And you brought us to where we are now. Fox, Sony, Warner Brothers, that's a lot of self-inflicted damage they've done to themselves, but never on the level of what the Marvel Studios has done to itself.
Yep.
I mean, if you were to say that Kevin Feige was actually taken out and replaced by a pod person who then just started messing stuff up, I can believe that. I can believe that the real Kevin Feige is being held against his will someplace in an underground wherever.
Keith, John?
Yeah.
We have a challenge.
Okay. Name a good recent Marvel property. A good recent Marvel property?
Werewolf by Night.
Well, even it had its issues.
Yeah.
But it was definitely the best. And I'm going to stick it up there, even though the best thing they've done has been Miss Marvel. Now, it's not the greatest character in the world. It's a fairly recent character. She's 2004, I think, was when she was created.
Yeah.
Somewhere in that time frame. So she's not like a classic character, but what they did with it, they went around and accidentally made a family movie. A family show. And I say accidentally because I'm sure that they did not intend to make a family values show, but they did.
Okay. That's my turn.
Yep.
Let me try to name something recent. I'm going to assume you're wanting it at least within the last 10 years.
Well, I was assuming since the end of Endgame, and not counting Sony because Sony's the driver of the Spider-Man movies.
Look, Sony's plans and how they want to do things. I'm telling all of y'all right now. I don't like them. But they are following. I at least have to give them the award for follow through. They're following that plan. Look, everything that Midnight's Edge reported about what Sony's plans have been, they are following a plan they had when they still had Amy Pascal working there. Why do you think they're making Why do you think they're? I shouldn't say making. They're done now. Why do you think they did the Craven film? Why do you think they made that? Oh, Phase 4. Okay.
Does Guardians still Phase 4 or it is Phase 5?
Yeah, I guess Guardians. Yeah. Guardians technically was a Phase 3 property.
Yeah.
I think you're reaching there.
Well,
I think.
Well, hold on. Wait. To be fair, Guardians really, the Eternals was actually meant for a later phase. When the Eternals came out, that was in the spot that was originally occupied by Guardians 3. But because Alan Horn had fired James Gunn, they needed to stick something in that slot. And they decided, well, we'll just do the Eternals. No build-up. No nothing. No, lots of flimsy explanations as to where these guys have been and why they didn't participate. And I get the whole thing that they can't leave that they're assigned here. I get that. It's lots of flimsy stuff. And again, I will argue, not a very good adaptation of the actual comic and to me, the Eternals is about as far away from the comic source as MODOK was.
Oh yeah, that was horrible. Well, my argument in why it's a Phase 3 property is because it plays off of what happened in Phase 3.
Oh, you mean like the way they've been advertising the Marvels?
Yeah, except we know that that's not going to be the case. But because the original script for Guardians 3 was the aftermath of an Endgame. And then it turned into this other thing, which it still was kind of it did reference a lot of what happened in Endgame. So it was actually closer to being a Phase 3 wrap up than any other thing in Phase 4, or Phase 5. But yeah, but that's my argument why it belongs with, even though it was made in Phase 5 and it was released in Phase 5, it should have been considered part of the wrap up of Phase 3. Same thing with it's the same. It's just like even though Godzilla 1985 was created and shot in the Showa era, it's actually considered the first movie of the Heisei era. And I'm sure I probably lost everybody there.
Wolverine 66. The only real good Phase 4 MCU movie was No Way Home. Sony might
hold your thoughts on this one because we need to go to our commercial break.
Oh,
okay.
So
play that commercial.
Oh, wait. Let me put down this comment and here we go.
Wow. And again, as I've been saying, I will happily sign any of those shirts if I happen to run into you at any convention or out and about. If you want me to sign a shirt, I'll do it. I think you could even get John to sign a shirt or 3 if you run into him out and about. Yeah.
I would question your sanity there for having me sign it, but sure.
Oh, John, you should have saved your beard and sell it on the on the store.
No, that beard is long gone.
Uh,
Looking good though, there, John. Looking good.
oh, right. This
Monkey
you were going
Jeebus.
to address this.
Yeah. Oh, let's see. The only real good Phase 4 MCU movie was No Way Home. Sony might be involved, but it's a Marvel Studios production. I really did like No Way Home.
Yeah, I did too.
I liked it a lot.
I didn't.
But I consider it more a Sony property than I do an MCU property.
Yeah, because I don't think they would have done that if they had full control of Spider-Man. If the MCU and Disney had control of the character, as far as the cinematic stuff, they had the rights back.
Yeah.
I don't think they would be going down the road that they're going now. Of course, then again, just me.
I can tell you exactly what would happen. If Marvel had full control, they would have already replaced Peter Parker with Miles Morales.
That is the only saving grace. That is the only saving grace. I agree.
Spider-Gwen. Or Spider-Gwen.
Oh, jeez. Why do you do? Yes. Okay. Now you've risen. The movie has been raised in my mind now.
That's because we love you, Monkey.
Yeah, it was my idea, Monkey. I thought it would brighten your day. I'm sorry.
Let me at least just say that if you are familiar with what Midnight's Edge have reported about Sony's plans, you know that the Kraven the Hunter movie has been on a part of their plan almost since the very beginning. So it's taken a while to get to it, but here we are.
Well, they're basically building the villain verse is what they're doing.
Yes, because they're building the Sinister Six.
Yeah.
And since they're taking their sweet time, this could go one of two ways. They could be waiting so that Tom Holland can go out in a blaze of glory versus the Sinister Six. Or they could wait, and once Tom Holland leaves, recast someone younger to be Peter Parker and have him go up against the Sinister Six, or use that as an opportunity to have the Sinister Six become the villains that go up against Miles Morales. Or better yet, Silk. I'd rather see a Silk movie than the Spider-Gwen film. I know that's going to make me real popular with people. But all I have to say is,
I've always had a problem with Spider-Gwen, but
if you believe in, let me go ahead and say this in a way that a lot of those people out in the left coast can understand. If you decide to put Spider-Gwen over Silk, you're a racist. Racist.
Yeah,
as neurotic would say, you're a racist. So, plus Silk is a much better character.
Yeah,
it works. There are lots of characters that even Miles Morales has had. It's just that they are working overtime to try to sell you on Spider-Gwen being someone that Miles Morales should fall for, to make it his MJ. And my whole thing has been, you don't need to do that. He's already got girlfriends and stuff. And yeah, that's just not a viable way to go.
They spend half the time doing that, and then half the time with, oh, she's a lesbian. Make up your mind.
Yep. Check. Lame. Check. Oh. Oh. Wow, that's going to be a joke that a lot of these people are going to get real tired of over the course of this next 3 years. Unless there's a part 2 to this, which I believe there is. I think their next target will be either Bob Iger or Kevin Feige.
Well, going by the way this article is written, I'd say it's going to be Kevin Feige.
That's
better yet, it's a 3-parter.
Yeah,
and they'll hit everybody.
Oh, geez. Well, look, if Ike Perlmutter gets a seat on the board, I think Kevin Feige's gone.
Oh yeah,
he's gone. He
and it's a very real possibility that he does, because he took his shares, and he's got a lot of shares because he made a lot of money from Disney. They paid him a lot in shares, and he put him behind Nelson Peltz.
Mm-hmm. Nelson Peltz is coming in to wreck shop.
Yep.
Don't even fool yourself. He is coming in to chew bubble gum and to slap the ever-living mess out of Bob Iger.
In 7 days, it's going to be on like Donkey Kong.
And I'm telling you right now, if they turn that into a pay-per-view event, I'm putting down money in advance to watch.
They got my money. If they put that on pay-per-view, I'll pay for that.
I would definitely. I'd pay for the extra package. Ooh, post beatdown interviews and all. Wow. Anyway, we've already done the mid-show, so let's go ahead and at least go over some of this article. Let's see. This past September, a group of Marvel creatives, including studio chief Kevin Feige, assembled in Palm Springs for the studio's annual retreat. Most years, the vibe would have been confident, even cocky, given how the premier superhero brand, owned by Disney since 2009, has remade the entertainment business in its image. But this occasion was angst-ridden. Everyone at Marvel was reeling from a series of disappointments on screen, a legal scandal involving one of its biggest stars, and questions about the viability of the studio's ambitious strategy to extend the brand beyond movies into streaming. The most pressing issue to be discussed at the retreat was what to do about Jonathan Majors. Let him go, recast him, or replace him with another better villain. Because Kang is not the best villain, kids.
You're reading ahead there.
Oh, I'm sorry.
So
I'm sorry. Yeah. I'm sorry. Let's see. Was what to do about Jonathan Majors, the actor who had been poised to carry the next phase of the Marvel Cinematic Universe, but instead is headed to a high-profile trial in New York later this month on domestic violence charges. The actor insists he is the victim, but the damage to his reputation and the chance he could lose the case has forced Marvel to reconsider its plan. Excuse me again. Its plans to center the next phase of its interlocking slate of sequels, spin-offs, and series around Majors' villainous character, Kang the Conqueror. Go hold. Wow. This is quite an article. Let's get to the other side here. At the gathering in Palm Springs, executives discussed backup plans, including pivoting to another comic book adversary like Dr. Doom.
There, Marvel. There. You have it. Right there in the palm of your hand. Just right here. It's right here. It's Doom. What are you doing?
And after listening to Nerdrotic, his suggestion is, you know how Vader, when you first met him, or at least in episode 4 and 5, how he had a little bit of humor. Apology accepted. You know, stuff like that. He said, yeah. That's Doom. Just do that. Add a little bit of humor to it. That's really dark. and very arrogant. Like a majority of people who work in the business. You know.
No, what you do is you put him in a Fantastic Four, move the Fantastic Four up in front of just wipe off Avengers 5 off the map. Don't even worry about it. Have part of the storyline be that Doom's grand plans were thwarted by what Jonathan Majors did or what Kang did.
Yeah.
And Doom simply goes back in time and kills Jonathan Majors as a young man before, or not Jonathan Majors, but Kang as a young man before he even gets his power.
You could do that, or you could even go one better and just, you know, Doom wants a shot at the title.
Yeah.
You know, he wants a shot at taking over really the planet. He figures the only way to do that is to take out the guy who seems to be attempting to step up.
Yeah.
And, you know, Doom's smart enough. You got to also add in the fact that he's not just a character that helped to inspire Darth Vader, along with the character that inspired him, Darkseid.
Yeah.
But he is, he's smart. The guy's a genius. It's like to call him an evil Tony Stark would be an understatement.
He is Reed Richards' equal.
Yeah.
Plus, he's as smart as Reed Richards,
if not slightly smarter.
Plus, he's Doctor Strange.
Where's my Doom movie?
Yeah.
Well, I'm sorry, I misspoke. Where's my Doctor Doom movie? There you go.
Yeah, we've already had the Doom movie, and it was not pleasant.
Well, The Rock was in it, but yeah,
yeah.
I agree.
It was okay, but I mean, it wasn't.
Yes, it was.
It was just okay. It was just okay.
Oh, well, honey, it was just okay.
Well, come on. Fans of Doom 3 like it. It's not completely Doom, but well, it's something.
You know,
it was better than a lot of other video game movies. Let's put it that way.
You take that back.
What, that it was better than a lot of other video game movies?
Oh, I thought you were talking about the Doom video games.
No,
Sorry.
the Doom movie was better than a lot of other video game movies.
Oh, yeah. Yeah. The first Mario Brothers.
Hey, now, the first Mario Brothers is a classic.
With the jumping boots, yeah.
Yes.
Okay, we are wandering really far.
This is a battle of lovers of bad movies.
Yeah.
Although,
Monkey Jeebus, I think you're onto something. The multiverse saga should end with Doom being released into the MCU. I think he's going to wind up there no matter what. In fact, Doom, this is the reason why you need to treat the Fantastic Four right. Because Doom is a Fantastic Four villain who basically, at least when I was growing up, became so big that he became a villain really for the entire Marvel universe.
Oh, yeah.
And while he's not like Thanos or any of those other guys, he's a guy that is very formidable. And if you don't need, seriously, if I were really being serious about adding Dr. Doom into everything, I would say this. You don't need to make it some big cosmic thing. Dr. Doom wants what he's always wanted. To really just be the supreme ruler of all Earth, really.
I was going to say Sue Storm, but
Well, the way they're writing the Fantastic Four movie, they're basically just. I mean, again, I don't want to sound like it's just if you haven't heard, they're writing Reed Richards as kind of an a-hole to Sue.
Yeah,
he ignores her. He does all the all that stuff.
Well, in fairness, he did that a lot in the comics.
Yeah, but I mean, not in the early comics.
No.
The thing about Reed Richards originally was that he was a guy under a lot of pressure because he had made a promise to Ben to cure him. And Sue understood that. In fact, Sue was very good at being the face of the Fantastic Four. She had a logical business mind. And depending on who writes the characters, sometimes they take that away from her. Sometimes they just turn her into the wife or the mom. And they don't give her the due of being really the smart person who is really the smart businesswoman that she is. She really was one of the first boss business babes, technically. But they're never going to write her like that.
I got it. Franklin can wipe Kang out of existence.
John, no. Tisk. Spoilers. You're jumping way ahead. That's very disrespectful. Because they're going to try to have her hook up with Namor first. That's the reason why they're writing Reed the way that they are. They want to make it so that when she, hooks up with Namor, they want to make it seem like she had good reason to do it. That's really what they're doing.
So they want to do a Fantastic Four movies just to dissolve the Fantastic Four?
No, they want to have her hook up with Namor. That's what
that is dissolving the Fantastic Four.
No, they want to have her hook up with Namor, and they want Reed to deal with it.
What?
Yeah. Yeah, it's not pretty, but
it's not pretty, but that's what they're aiming.
What?
They are trying to make it so that when she does do it, that it's not really her fault, that she was driven to do it because of the what's that? What do they call that? Oh yeah, emotional abandonment is more than enough reason to step out on your relationship.
Yeah, that's
in that case, you should get a divorce and be done with it.
Hey, I'm not writing this because, as far as I'm concerned, Sue would never. She's never done that.
Yeah.
But then again, Hollywood's been pretty bad at writing these characters. Again, everybody know. Look, if every comic book fan of Marvel knows who Wolverine's true love is. If you have to think about it, you're not a true comic book fan.
Nope.
You know who he truly loves.
Yeah.
Jean Grey.
No.
Yeah.
No.
No, it's
Mariko.
It's Mariko. Yeah.
That's right. It's only the Hollywood version, dumbed down for, mass.
Well, now it's Scott Summers.
Oh,
jeez. Unfortunately, yes. Now it's Scott Summers, but
no, there's so many wrong images in my mind. Like, no.
Yeah. What do you think they've been doing to the X-Men comics for the last 4 years?
They turned them into a throuple.
That's right.
Yeah, I know.
No.
but,
They're not a throuple anymore. Remember,
What?
they froze Gene out. Gene had to go
fuck.
find somebody else. So it is just Scott and Logan. I know, right? Remember, this has happened all under the watch of Kevin Feige while he's been in charge of all of Marvel.
Yep.
All of it. Thanks, Kevin. Thanks for nothing. You didn't just ruin the movies. You had to go and ruin the comics too. I mean, why do you think the X-Men 97 revival show has taken so long? Because they're still rewriting things. Trust me, if you're a fan of X-Men 97, but you don't like what they've been doing recently, don't watch the revival. That's all I can warn you to do. You don't watch it because
the only thing you're getting that's going to be the same as the theme, and that'll probably be remixed.
Yeah.
they're going to do so much damage. Hey, but don't worry. Miss Marvel will show up in the live version, and she'll be taking the place of Kitty Pryde.
Yeah, because they made her a mutant now.
Yep.
Oh, she's not an inhuman. We don't. What's an inhuman? We don't even know what that is. That never happened.
Yep, that or she'll take the place of Jubilee. Hell, she may even take both their places. There you go.
Knowing the way that they write stuff now, she's going to take Jean Grey's spot, and she'll be one of the original X-Men.
Oh, man, she's too young. And just picturing Scott or Wolverine hitting on her, no way. I am so done if they go down that road. She's a nice looking young lady. I think the actress that plays her is great. But oh my goodness.
Yeah.
If they do that.
And you can't tell me that that's not something that Disney would do at this stage.
They do that. I curse them with Amber Heard to be cast as Jean Grey. There you go. That's an image.
And Amber Heard looks horrible as a redhead.
No, she doesn't, man. No, she doesn't.
Yes, she does.
Oh no, Meta looks awesome. I'm not gonna lie.
And that's the trap, man. That's how she gets everybody. People keep going.
Yes.
Why do they put up with her? Why did they put up with her? Well, now you know. Oh, geez. Yeah, that'd be something. That'd be something if they make Amber Heard the new Captain Marvel. There you go. There you go.
Well,
no.
She will have that special move.
That's right. Hey, where do you sleep? You better go check the bedroom, dude. I think Captain Marvel's been in there.
No bed will be safe.
Well, considering some of the stuff she's been accused and or photographed to have been doing, she doesn't need just a bed to do that.
No.
Dark alley.
Middle of San Francisco.
Oh, geez. She's crazy.
Yeah, she is.
I mean, I'm sure she is easy on the eyes, but that crazy meter in the back of my head keeps going off every time I see a picture of her. It's just like, infect you with crazy.
Yeah, but apparently she can make you discover new colors.
You know what, man? If that's how you go, God be with you, man.
More power.
Any guy that ends up dating her.
Oh no, I don't know. You never know.
I don't know her, never met her. I'm sure she's nice enough, but that's a
I'm not.
lot to take on. That is a lot to take. You're not just getting a girlfriend who looks good. You're getting a lot. Wow.
There's not a big enough crazy train for her.
No. John does it again.
By master of the TDS.
Toot,
How
toot.
would I say?
Oh, master of the TDS. Have a good day. Oh man, and master. Before master of the TDS left, stated, "I hate Ironheart more than Ms. Marvel." Not sure if that's a compliment to Miss Marvel though. Oh man,
Riri Williams is just a horrible character.
it's badly. I'm just offended. I'm offended.
Even in the comics, she's a bad character. That's what I'm talking about. Going back to the comics, she was badly written in the comics. They just did it for check boxes.
Yeah, it's a backdoor Tony Stark. Oh, jeez.
Of course, then they took her as the smartest girl in the world and gave it to Moon Girl.
Yep.
So now Moon Girl's the smartest person in the Marvel Universe. Yeah.
Yeah. This is not good. This is not good. You know, I don't believe a lot of people working for Marvel believe in Marvel as much as many fans that still hold on do. And that's sad. You know, there's a lot with Marvel that is great. Personally, I'm glad they canceled the Wonder Man series.
Yeah. They would have done him justice. And at this point, it's really too late. The time to have done Wonder Man was before they introduced Vision.
Yeah. Yeah. Yep. Well, then again, you know, I say back up the dump truck. Give Chris Evans a whole lot of money. And do an Invaders movie.
Yeah, honestly, I don't think that would take that big of a dock trip to get Chris Evans back.
I think it will, because he's getting married, for one thing.
Yeah.
He wants to be a director. So I say back up the dump truck and make one Invaders movie. Okay? And have Chris Evans be in that.
No, you don't have to back up the dump truck. All you have to do is give Chris Evans some directing gigs.
Or let him direct the movie.
Yeah. Well, I don't know about that, but
it would smooth things over big. But my only thing is just have him only do one movie. It's like, here, take all this money. We only want you for one film.
I'd rather have him direct some. Let's see him direct some Disney Plus shows first, and then we'll see if he can deliver.
I wouldn't curse him with that. I would not curse him with Disney Plus. You know, eventually they're going to get hip. You know, Disney Plus shows just need to improve vastly. I mean, they're not like Sci-Fi Channel 15 years ago bad, but some of that stuff is approaching that.
Going back to the earlier conversation we had about what's the best thing that Marvel has done since Phase 4. Not counting, like I said, not counting the Guardians of the Galaxy, because like I said, how I picture that is that was originally started before. This is the Guardians of the Galaxy Christmas special.
There you go. I agree. That's it. That's my answer too. The Guardians of the Galaxy Christmas special, which hey, we're coming upon that time of year again. We can watch
Yeah.
it again.
Yep.
Fantastic.
Well, Kevin Bacon's gone completely nutso.
That's okay. We'll always have the Christmas special.
Yeah.
Unless Amber Heard decides to join, and then
No.
Don't open the present she gave you.
What's in the box?
Hey, somebody
And
left an unwrapped candy bar in the box.
and nobody went to Amber Heard's house to trick or treat.
Hey, Peter Bemmer fans, welcome.
Oh man, I'm telling you, Amber Heard would make herself available to be Sue Storm.
No,
Yeah, she would. She'd do it.
no, just
Yeah.
no.
She'd do it. Hey, Kevin, if you want a really sexy woman, because you seem to have a thing for certain blondes and stuff, get Amber Heard.
No.
Have her be Sue
No.
Storm.
Give that role to Emily Blunt, and
Exactly.
let's be done with it.
John Krasinski as Mr. Fantastic, Emily Blunt as Sue Storm.
Yeah, but having John Krasinski be acting that script out the way they've written it, I don't want to see that.
Oh no, I'm not talking about their script. I'm talking about something I come up with.
Yeah, and considering how
I'm not a script writer,
those
but I
two-
can write. But I can write better than any crap Marvel's put out in the last 4 years.
You know what? I'd be willing to see that. I agree with you, John.
That's not a bar too high, to be honest.
Oh, geez.
we have seen better ideas in the chat.
Good point.
So
Yeah, that's
Thank you, Shinatsky. This isn't a gift. It's
And-
human.
and I'm just gonna paraphrase something that at some point everybody here has said. Just go and look into the comics. There are your scripts. That's it.
Yep.
It's not rocket science.
Well, it is for some of these geniuses. I mean, look at how much,
just back up Marvel Comics up until about 2004, 2005, and say, here, these are your storylines. Do these.
There you go. That's it. Look, if you're going to reboot the entire MCU, here's my suggestion. If you really want to try not to repeat some of the things that you've done, or you're afraid that certain performers won't feel comfortable, especially anybody that's cast to be Tony Stark, just do the Ultimate. Do the entire Ultimate storyline version.
Can we skip the whole Scarlet Witch Quicksilver thing?
Oh, yeah. Okay, yeah, okay.
Yeah.
We don't
Let's
need that one. Yeah.
This is not Game of Thrones here. This is Marvel.
Yeah, that I don't want to think about it.
Yeah, that's why it's problematic to do the Ultimates. Yeah. So.
Yeah. Well, no, I'd still do it. I just wouldn't do that version of the characters. I'd do something different. Yeah, I construct those characters a little differently. Everything else, though, I like what they did. What they did in creating a really plausible connection between certain characters like Reed Richards, Tony Stark, Bruce Banner. The way they did all of that makes sense to me. And remember, okay, if you remember what a lot of comic book nerds were saying at the end of Endgame, that we were going to get Young Justice.
They're still trying. Not Young Justice, Young Avengers.
Young Avengers, I'm sorry, Young Avengers.
Yeah.
And what they were actually going to do. Yeah.
Well, they're still trying.
Yeah, but the original version of that was basically we're going to go back in time and get the younger versions of all the characters we just killed off. And thus, that's the Young Avengers.
Which would be better than what the crap they've done the last 2 phases are.
That would be like Amber Heard making an entire video talking to you about gut health.
No. Do we have to keep bringing up Amber Heard?
Yes, we do. And I'm surprised no company has decided to do that. That you would get a lot of eyes on whatever commercial you make with her talking about gut health.
No, it's not a commercial. That's an episode of South Park.
Oh, yeah, you're right.
Yeah.
Wow. I'd still watch it for about a minute. You know, pay her to talk about healthy number 2.
Yeah, that's not going to work.
Wow.
Especially since we won't go there. So never mind.
No.
Anyway, so we'll just skip that. So yeah.
You know, I think what we're all saying is that, dear Disney, you should hire us to fix the MCU for you. That's basically what we're all saying.
Yep.
And I want you to know up front that I would be worth every penny. Seriously, I really wouldn't charge you that much compared to, say, Robert Downey Jr. You know, I wouldn't cost you that much.
Are you kidding? I'd do it for like a 6-figure a year salary. They could have me cheap.
Oh my God, Monkey G was.
Well, 6-figure salary and 5% of the back end. Because I know how much my idea is worth.
6-figure salary, 4-year contract, 3% of the back end.
I can do that.
I was talking about me.
No.
You're probably right, Shinotsky.
Oh yeah, I'm sure.
Because
well, in my case, I'm also the wrong shade and the wrong sex. So
I'd spend way too much time just checking out all of the visual effects going, let's call this visual effects house. Let's call that one over there. Let's get them all involved. It's just a 10-minute film, Keith. I don't care. We need all the visual effects houses. They'll be massive. It's not my charge card. Come on. Which is the way they've been acting up to now.
yeah, but see, I wouldn't do that. I'd be like, why don't we call some of these practical effects artists back?
True. Lots and lots of practical would be great. Basically, Werewolf by Night.
Yeah.
Yeah.
You know that That CGI costume? Yeah, no, here's a real one. Put this on.
Okay. That'd be great. Of course, for Amber Heard, she'd need a very special two-piece costume because sometimes you just gotta. That's her way of saying she loves you. You're saying she doesn't give a. Well, guess what? She got one just for you.
Oh my!
Well, Shanatsky, are you volunteering to make that happen?
I'm sure a lot would volunteer to make that happen.
Well, yeah. Well, yeah.
Not that would be a bad thing.
No comment on that one. Wow.
Whoa.
Really? Well,
Fascinating.
that is. Given developments over the last 24 to 48 hours, yeah. Yeah.
Care to explain?
Well, there have been certain other developments as far as animation goes. There have been deals made, and one particular deal that allows a former employee of Pixar to technically now work for Netflix.
Yep. Mr. John Lasseter.
That's right. So, and you're right, Admiral Teague. Yeah, we do know that they are worked real hard. Lasseter really, to me, is at the top of the list of people who just got screwed. He should still be there making animated fare. But he's not. And so he's going to be doing it somewhere else for someone else. And in this case, it's for Netflix. So good luck with that, Disney. Good luck with that, Pixar, for however much longer they decide to keep you around until they just basically fold you into all of Disney animation, which was the nightmare scenario and one of the top reasons why they didn't want to sell themselves to Disney. So on that front, I mourn the loss of Pixar because as far as I'm concerned, the heart of Pixar is gone. They've lost a lot of talent. There's a lot of people that have left that place.
And a lot of them are at Skydance Animation.
Yeah. Yeah. The competition is about to look. Right now, there are 2 studios outside of Disney that are really just getting it done. Skydance and Sony. Marvel has no one to blame but themselves. I mean, not Marvel, but Disney has no one to blame but themselves the 100th anniversary, and you chased away one of the few people that's really good at the one thing that basically built Disney, which is animation. Good going.
Yep.
And then talk shit about the animated movie that made your studio.
That's weird, isn't it? It's weird. Oh, wow. Rachel Ziegler. I wouldn't mind being her publicist. Just to be able to tell her, okay, here's some advice. Shut the F up and just sit your down, okay? Don't say nothing unless you're being paid on set. Outside of that, stay off of social media.
Smile and wave. Smile.
And that's
and
it.
wave.
Because every time she opens her mouth, every time she does anything on social media, all she's doing is bringing everybody down. And look, I don't think she's an evil or bad person, but that stuff she did to Gina Carano wasn't right. And I want to attribute a lot of this to her being young, and she is young.
Mhm.
Uh,
Man, thank God there wasn't social media when I was that age.
Yeah, I shudder to think what things I would have done with current social media had I had that back in high school.
Hey, Zach.
Max! How are you,
Hey,
Zach?
Zax.
This. So no way. Oh, don't
no.
go there.
Actually, she is. If you look at the what's going to be the better version of Snow White, and that's the one put out by
Oh,
David
yes.
Collar.
Yeah. Yeah, you're right, Joe's Atmosphere. Right, her publicist is gonna be getting a lot of overtime. Yes, her publicist is. I think what she needs is I think she needs her own Terry Tate office linebacker. Every time she's about to open her mouth to say something, bam. That'll help right there. In fact, there's quite a few people at Disney that I would love to just give them some Terry Tate office linebacker.
There's a lot of people that need Terry Tate. Terry Tate would have to franchise.
He would. I'm sure you could find a lot of people who'd be willing to rent themselves out to do that. Heck, I'd even try to put on my old pads and do it. Can only do it once or twice, but I'm sure those few people I would take out would deserve it.
Yeah, I can think pretty much everybody at Disney needs their own Terry Tate.
Oh, jeez. A lot of hitting going on.
Some of them need a couple.
Ouch, John. Funny. True, but funny. Oh, wow.
Yeah.
Let me at least try to connect this, everything we've been talking about with say, DC. They're in trouble.
Hey,
thank you.
Yeah. Yeah. Hey, Joe. Rachel Ziegler is more of a Johnny Manziel than she is a T.O. or an Antonio Brown. At least T.O. and Antonio Brown had the skills to back it up.
Ouch.
That's well, I mean, really, if you look at her record all the films that she's appeared in recently haven't been doing so well.
No. And her current, soon to be, I guess it comes out middle of the month, like what's it, the 22nd? Or I guess the end of the month. It comes out the 22nd. That Hunger Games Battle of Songbirds and Snakes. That's not going to do well.
I won't be watching that one.
Nope, I'm not going to watch it. I may watch it on streaming, but I won't be going to the movie theater. I'll go see Trolls World Tour before I go see that.
Ouch.
Because at least I know if I go to see Trolls World Tour, I'm going because I'm taking my niece.
Wow. That's cool though.
Real. I'm completely in your camp, Wolverine 626. I mean, wow.
Oh, apparently the publicists all went on strike at the same time they did.
John, in all the years you've known me, when have I not reminded you or anybody else that what I would love, what my ultimate job that I would love to do is? You remember?
Probably not. I've slept since then.
The one job that I think I'd be perfect for.
Besides head of Marvel Studios?
Well, I never said I'd be perfect for it, but I wouldn't mind doing it. If they wanted to offer it to me, I'd do it for about 1/4 of what they're paying Kevin Feige right now. I would sign for a 5-year deal for 1/4 his salary. And just 1/4. Yeah. And my own private plane.
No, I'll fly. On that kind of salary, I'll fly
Coach?
commercial. I'll fly commercial.
Oh, I'd fly coach. But the job that I thought that I would be great at. Oh, geez. Thanks, Shanatsky. No, I'd be hired to smack the out of people.
Oh, yeah, that's right. Yeah, I remember now. Yep. Just anytime anybody has a dumb idea, smack.
I would definitely I would enjoy getting paid to just go and slap the ever living mess out of people who deserve it.
Rent a Keith.
Cost extra for the belt, but you got to be real messed up to deserve that.
Yeah.
Anima.
Yeah, Anima had to step away, but she's back.
The return of Anima. Admiral Teague. You know what? Kurtzman didn't destroy the job. JJ didn't destroy. That job is still there. Just that there's nobody that's been doing that job. You know, they've been making their version of Star Trek, which is not the same as taking over and working on real Trek, you know.
Yeah. And they didn't even show up and go, "Hey, we're going to make our own Trek with hookers and blackjack," because they didn't do that.
That's true. Unfortunately, Disney now owns that. So we'll see whether or not we're going to ever see any of that again. See, that's the real reason why you haven't heard anything. Disney owns it.
We just saw Futurama. They just had another season.
I'm sure they did.
And
It
it's
wasn't as
and
it wasn't as good as the other seasons, but it wasn't.
see, that's the thing.
It wasn't as bad as it could have been under Disney.
Well, here's the other thing, though. When Fox was sold, you do remember that McFarlane signed a deal with NBC Universal, first look deal.
Yep.
So technically, to sign him to any more episodes of the Orville, yeah, he's not exactly all that committed to doing it. You know, he's committed to making his own content for NBC Universal.
Yeah.
I'm not saying that you couldn't get him for the Orville, but he's not available the same way that he was for the first 3 seasons.
Yeah.
Again, I just, given everything they've been talking about these last few years at Disney, one would have thought that Disney would have been happy to own the Buffy IP. Everything that Buffy is, that's what they want.
Yep.
Almost every person that writes anything for Disney, if you were to go to each of them and look at their resume and look at their influences, Buffy would be in their top 5.
Strong female character, has a chick in it and is gay.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
Well, they made her gay. They had a chick
Yeah.
in there that was in love with 2 or 3 guys, and then they made her gay.
Yeah, that's true. That's all Josh Whedon there. So,
but I think Disney could.
In all fairness, that kind of thing can happen in the real world. In fact, it happens.
I'm not saying it couldn't. I'm not saying no. I'm not saying that it couldn't. I'm just saying it checks every single box, and yet they've not done anything with it. It's just sitting there. You ask, you could probably get the entire writing staff of She-Hulk to leave that if you made Buffy available.
No, we don't
want
no.
Shavatsky,
We don't want.
take that back.
I'm not a big Buffy fan. Okay, I prefer Angel over Buffy, but no, we don't want the writers of She-Hulk anywhere near that property.
I agree with you.
I believe Monkey. He was part of that, so he knows all the intricacies of Buffy.
Yeah. He was
But
there when the sausage was made.
Yeah.
Joe's Atmosphere. Oh, thank God. They finally put last night's show back up at Des Wolfen. Go check out our takes on these subjects after this stream, folks, on last night's State of the Atmosphere.
Yep.
Hosted by Joe's Atmosphere.
Yep. We discussed this last night, and they took the stream down because we were talking about Godzilla -1 on our future movies, what's coming out, upcoming. And in the background was the IMDb trailer playing, and Toho struck the whole video.
Oh, my God.
So Joe had to edit that part out.
That is a dumb move for
yeah, it was in the background. We weren't even showing it. It was, it was just there on the page.
And even if that's publicity.
Yeah, I know.
Oh my goodness.
I agree with you, John. I am a much bigger Angel fan than Buffy. But, I'm
still upset we didn't get Angel versus the Dragon.
Yeah, but I would not want these people to come anywhere near Angel.
No.
They would not get it. They would make him
And I can assure you, that dragon was at the last moment slain by Spike.
That's definitely one character that would not truly survive the transition.
Oh, no.
They would make Spike bisexual instantly.
And then have him have a relationship with Angel.
No,
Oh,
Yeah, that's how it
God.
would go.
thanks, John.
I won't be able to launch thanks to that.
Look, there's nothing wrong with that. It's just not for not for those characters.
Those characters, no.
I
The
mean-
way they are with each other, no. That would ruin everything. They
like-
need to be antagonistic to each other.
That's like having these writers redo Smallville and having Clark and Lex end up as a couple.
Yep, that's right. They hit us for 34 seconds. That's how long that trailer was on screen for.
Wow.
And they struck the whole video.
Oh, Shanatsky, I'm sure you got a you got a point there, but no. They would never go for that.
Please, let Faith out of that.
No,
That
they would.
should have been the power couple, Faith and Angel. That should have been the one.
Oh, they eventually do end up together in the comics.
No, do they?
Oh yeah.
But a ripoff of David from. I wouldn't call it a ripoff.
Also, what they ended up doing with Xander, though.
Oh yeah.
I mean, not quite as bad as when they had Batman and Batgirl hook up. But
Thank you for reminding me that stupid movie exists.
so you don't want to hear what they did to Xander. And
No, but I'm sure you're going to tell me anyway.
Come on, do it.
No.
Do it.
No, if you don't
Do
want
it
to know.
now.
Although
But I
I'm gonna
want to
warn
know.
you, because there are probably people in this chat that know exactly what I'm talking about. They'll probably tell you. But let's just say that kind of relationship, except they had Xander paired off with someone else in the Buffy characters. And
It wasn't done. Tell me it wasn't done.
okay.
It was done.
Oh shit! It was done.
You can Google it.
Oh wow! Gross.
Now, the thing is that she is older. I mean, but
Yeah.
still, it's
She was like his little sister, man. That's
what
I
I
know.
said. Yeah, John probably Googled it. It's like, oh,
I
geez,
didn't. I didn't Google it. I could just see where it was going. I knew where that freight train was going. It was going right off that bridge. It got blown up.
oh my.
So yeah. Um. Yeah, consistency. Yeah. But
Oh my.
yeah, it's
Well, Lucid and I think it gives you
what perspective? You're going to say perspective, right?
no.
A different perspective.
It gives you I would say it gives you a little permission to be a bitch about it. I wouldn't be happy.
Oh wow. Joe, I can understand being a little ticked about that for that
That-
character, but here's the thing. Think about the movie as a whole, because the movie that we got was not the original movie that was written.
The movie that we got was not Birds of Prey. I don't know what that crap was, but it wasn't Birds of Prey.
And if you know about why they did it and what they were trying to prevent,
Bye, Cam.
basically. Oh, Cam.
Yep.
Cam, everybody.
Bye, Cam.
What you had was you had your lead actress that threatened to leave, and they needed to cast her in something quick, and so they took a script that had already been written and gave it to a director who had never done anything like this before, and basically start a page one rewrite, writing her own version of these characters. For someone that's never picked up a comic book before, there you go.
Yeah.
And the thing is, DC's not the only one. That's what happened with the Eternals. Yep. I'm telling you, Kevin Feige, when you think about what they did for Birds of Prey, think about, if you know anything about the young lady that was hired to direct the Birds of Prey.
Zoe Chow? Oh, not Birds of Prey. I was thinking.
No, but I mean,
Eternals.
that's what I'm saying. You hired a young Asian director to make Birds of Prey.
Yeah.
And they ended up doing the same thing, ironically, for the Eternals. And in both versions, you stray far away from the source material.
I'm starting to think they should have just let Zoe Chow do what she wanted to do to the Marvel Universe in the first place.
If you have to talk to somebody, if Kevin Feige has to pull somebody aside to argue the fact that the ending that you came up with wouldn't exactly make sense because it would affect the rest of the universe a certain way.
Yeah, we can go ahead and tell them. She wanted to destroy the entire world.
Yeah, she wanted the Celestial to be born.
Yes. And at this point, it would have been better than everything we got since then.
Harsh, but true.
It's like, oh, blew up the world. We can reboot now.
But the downside is they still had Spider-Man No Way Home was the next movie.
Yeah, that's true.
And that film was done. There's no way you can put that out if you've destroyed the entire planet.
Yeah.
The only way that would have made sense is if you filmed just a short scene with Doctor Strange and Peter talking about how in one version of reality there's already been destroyed. So
yeah.
And make it seem like, you know, everything that happened in the Eternals happened in a slightly different version of reality. But then that would
run gargoyles too. They'll put Hudson and Brooklyn into a relationship or something.
Oh no! No! Yeah, Monkey would know because he was kind of there.
Kinda.
He was there. I agree with you, Joe. That Huntress for the Arrowverse was awesome. Now explain to me why they wrote her out of the show after season 2. Look. I know they wanted to have Ollie end up with someone else. My argument is, why not the Huntress? She would have been a way better girlfriend for Oliver Queen on that show than where they ended up going. Nothing against the actress that played her. But, yeah.
Mhm.
Cameron.
Okay.
Really? We need to get Cameron on the show. That's what we
Yeah,
really
it's
need
been
to
a while
do.
since he's been here.
Yeah, I know he's working.
Oh yeah, he's busy.
You know, since the writers went back to work, I know he's working. So, but I think we should try to get R&B on the show.
Your other brother?
My other twin brother.
Yeah.
And there's quite a few people I want to try to get on the show.
Script Doctor?
Script Doctor especially, but I know he's also busy. Script Doctor is busy making the world safe for good, fantastically plotted nerd entertainment, as well as entertainment in general. Heck, they're about to unleash NCIS Sydney.
Hey, greetings, emotionally unstable amphibian.
Yeah, EUA. EUA.
Yeah,
Greetings.
you managed to arrive just as we're ending.
Yep.
Well,
But hey, at least you're here. You
yeah,
can always go back and the cool thing about YouTube is you can always go back and watch the replay, unless you put 34 seconds of Godzilla -1 on the screen and they take your stream down.
He's not a little bitter about that.
No.
What? No. Look, if you're going to bring anything any show back, Constantine, as long as it's the original writers of the television show and from the NBC series, yeah. If you're going to do that. Except make it exclusive for Max and treat it like a Showtime series. Do all the stuff you couldn't get away with doing on a network weekly series like weekly network like NBC. Which again, I'm glad they took a chance on it, but really, NBC? I mean, there's stuff that you could do. I mean, the reason why they took that show was because of the popularity of Supernatural. But that's CW. And there are certain things you could do on the CW that you couldn't really do on NBC.
Yeah.
If Constantine had been a cable series on like a Showtime, which I think was also the network that gave us let's see. They gave us the Penny Dreadful. So if they'd made it a Showtime series, that would have rocked hard.
Yeah.
Hey, Emily Bett Rickards, she is hot.
Yes, she is.
Nothing against her at all. Well, but nothing against her at all. It's just, in fact, you know what? I know that she loves stage work, but I think she could do a movie. And there's one part that I think she could play.
Snow White?
No, I was going to say Susan Storm.
Hot damn.
She doesn't wear glasses in real life, I think.
I know she doesn't.
Look at her. Just look at her. She's a natural blonde. And, you know.
Well, I'm sorry. I can't see anybody but Emily Blunt there. So
there is that. But here's the other thing. Emily Blunt cost you a lot more money.
Yeah.
Okay. How about Melissa Rauch?
Still cost you more money.
Not
You
really. She's not doing anything. She's a TV actress now. I mean, that's all she's done. So, and her Night Court tanked. So yeah, it's. I think you could get her a lot cheaper than you could get
Emily.
Emily Blunt. Yeah.
But not cheaper than Emily Beck. Rickards.
Yeah, that's true. That's true. Because I don't know.
And
if
here's
she's
the
doing
other
right now.
thing. Melissa Rauch is it took me some time to figure out who you were talking about. She's also a little shorter actress.
Yeah, she's short. But
Look, she's great. She looks
works
fantastic.
for Tom Cruise.
She looks great.
Just get her a soapbox to stand on. It works for Tom Cruise.
I need time to think about it. I think Emily Beck Rickards though would the way she played Felicity, the way that character was written, especially in the last 2 to 3 seasons of Arrow, that stuff was just bad. It was just bad. I think she can handle, and being a stage actress, I think she can handle a lot more material. If you write her in as Sue Storm, she would bring the kind of emotional weight necessary. She could do the dramatic portions of it. That being said, Melissa Rauch could also bring a little humor.
Yeah.
But that also takes away from Ben Grimm, because that's really part of the character's charm, is being humorous. I'm not saying you can't have more than one funny person on the team,
but too much it'll be
I just think that you should be concentrating on trying to find someone who you could buy into what you would need that character to be. Now, the way they're writing that script for Fantastic Four, they want her to be a boss babe, basically. And they want her to be the wronged party. They want her to be a woman who's stuck in not quite a loveless marriage, but she's being ignored by her husband. That way they can make it okay that she's fooling around with this other guy.
Yeah.
That's the sole reason why they're writing it that way.
It's really sad that the most accurate comic version of the Fantastic Four that's ever been put to film.
Oh, don't say it.
Is Roger Corman's.
Oh.
Tell me I'm wrong.
I'm not. I'm not going to tell you you're wrong. It's just sad. It is just
yeah.
What makes it even sadder is these are the people that actually make the comics. These are the people who should know how to make Fantastic Four. And yet they can't because of the message.
Yep.
Anyway, I think we've gone quite a bit for this particular episode.
Oh yeah, we're 25 minutes over, so.
Oh. Wow. Well, look.
Actually, Shinofsky, the best adaptation of Fantastic Four is The Incredibles.
There you go. That's right. Give that man a cookie. Oh, wow. Joe, you're right.
I have said it always. CW is soap opera with a superhero paint over it.
Pretty people with pretty problems.
Yep. I'll give you that.
And Canadian. But
yeah,
that's
Canadian. Yeah.
And Canadian.
That's an argument for another day.
Well, I hope everybody in the chat have had a good time, because it looks like you have. Martin, John, where can people catch you?
Well, tomorrow morning at the same bat time, same bat channel as today, you can see me on game day, me and Martine and Anima Confusa. And we might be lucky enough to have Joe with us tomorrow. And I am playing Baldur's Gate. So join us and be sure to troll me and everything I do in the game, because that's part of the fun. And so that's where you can find us tomorrow.
That's right. That's anti-GIF.
Yeah.
Okay.
And we have a change of in our schedule for Saturday. It's not going to be Marathon Man. It's going to be Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtles.
With Tom?
Yes.
Now, is this true? Does this mean I can actually wear my TMNT shirt? Oh, wait. I forgot. I'm actually not going to be there.
What?
I've got a date.
Oh.
We're going to have to go into that. Hey.
We'll talk about it off screen.
Yeah.
Well,
okay.
You can you need to do a cardboard of yourself and put it on your chair
and just kick it off and let it run, and then you can just put me out when when we're done off the show. Yeah.
Yeah, we'll discuss your whole date situation.
Yeah, it's not something I want to discuss on the air.
Yeah. It'll be off air. It's Amber Heard, isn't it?
Hell no.
Yeah, it is. It's Amber Heard.
I would sooner date Brie Larson.
Dude. And the thing is, I believe you. Wow.
You see, the bed sheets, I don't care. It's the finger and the beatings.
Oh.
Yeah, it's okay. There's only so much crazy I can handle, and Amber Heard has too much of that. So, yeah, that's why I'd rather, at least, at Brie Larson, I know that, things won't be crazy. They'll just be.
You have to be a Metallica fan to be in a relationship with Brie. Really, to be in a relationship with Amber, you got to be a Metallica fan.
Hey, don't be besmirching Metallica and
I'm not.
them with either one.
I'm not, because with both of them, you'd have to sleep with one eye open.
Yeah. I got you.
Pillow tight.
Yep. Yeah. Little Leonard Sandman show. Okay.
Oh, okay. Well, that was a little far for me to go, but it worked out.
Yeah, you got there in the end.
Yes, I did. Well, everybody, thank you. Thank you to John. Thank you to Martin. Thank you to everybody that has shown up for the show and have been very interactive. Don't forget to like, share, subscribe, as Valiant Renegade likes to say. Don't be afraid to go ahead and contact us even when we don't have a show, because we're willing to read whatever. But you can find me just about any place on social media.
Yep.
Mainly on X. So
yeah, I'm Das Wolfen on X. So.
And mine is the Martin Acosta. And Shenatsky, you're revealing your age.
And remember, wherever you go, there you are.
There you are. Yes. And don't forget, we still offer all those T-shirts. You want one. Okay. Yeah. We're headed into the major holiday, the real holiday season now.
Make perfect gifts.
Thanksgiving, you can wear it to your family gatherings and show everybody how much of a fan you are as you repeat all the wonderful things that you've learned from our channel. And of course, as John was saying, great Christmas gifts for you, your significant other, all the people that you know, even all the people that you hate, even the people you hate, you should buy them a t-shirt. So, for John, Martin, Gary, Anima, and everybody that just is friends and family here at Pop Culture Minefield, thank you, and we'll see you later.
Bye.